And there are three great arguments for a theistic God. When I say great, I mean they've been around a long time. And they're, I think, very solid arguments. The first argument is from the beginning of the universe, known as the cosmological argument. Cosmological comes from the Greek word cosmos, which means world or universe. If the universe had a beginning, it must have had a beginner. Second argument is from design, known as the teleological argument. Teleological comes from the Greek word telos, which means design or purpose. If there's design in the universe and design in life, there must have been a designer. Now, these two arguments right here are scientific in nature. You can get evidence for these arguments by either looking through a telescope or looking through a microscope. The evidence I'm going to show you, you don't have to trust me on. You can go read books on it. Okay? Don't trust me on it. Just go look it up for yourself. Okay? The third argument, however, is not scientific in nature. It's more philosophical. But this is the argument everybody has had with them since they were a very small child. And it is the argument from morality. The moral argument. If there is a moral law prescription out there, there must be a moral law prescriber. If there is something objectively wrong, anything, like it's wrong to torture babies for fun, there has to be a God. Why? Because if it's objectively wrong to torture babies for fun, what is the source of this objective morality? It certainly just can't be chemicals. What is the source? If it's just your opinion against Hitler's opinion that the Holocaust was wrong, there's no standard beyond humanity, then you can't say that Hitler was really wrong. You could just say you didn't like it. We'll get into this more during the moral argument, but we've got to start at the cosmological argument. And the cosmological argument is the argument that some say points to the Big Bang. In fact, scientists who are not even Christians admit this. Like Stephen Hawking says, almost everyone now believes that the universe and time itself had a beginning at the Big Bang. Cosmologist Alexander Vilenkin, who worked with Alan Guth at MIT on inflationary theory, said this just a couple of years ago. With the proof now in place, cosmologists can now no longer hide behind the possibility of a past eternal universe. There is now no escape. They have to face the problem of a cosmic beginning. Vilenkin calls it proof, and he says it's a problem. Why is it a problem? Because some scientists don't like the implications of the Big Bang. What are the implications? There's a creator. They don't like that, so it's a problem. They're looking for a way out. Why are these guys and others saying that the Big Bang is true? Here's some of the evidence, and this is all in chapter 3 of the book. I don't have enough faith to be an atheist. I'm going to give you an acronym, SURGE, S-U-R-G-E. S-U-R-G-E will help you remember it. I'll just list them now, and we'll go through the arguments very briefly. The S stands for the second law of thermodynamics. Explain that in a minute. The U stands for the universe is expanding, discovered by Edwin Hubble in 1929. The R stands for the radiation afterglow, discovered by Penzias and Wilson in 1965. The G stands for the great galaxy seeds, discovered by the Kobe space satellite in 1992. And E stands for Einstein's theory of general relativity, which Einstein had calculated back in about 1917. Now, these arguments are having most cosmologists admitting that the universe and time itself had a beginning out of nothing. Once there was no space, once there was no time, once there was no matter, and then it all came into existence out of absolutely nothing. That has implications we'll discuss in just a couple of minutes. Let's start with the S, second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics says the universe is running down. It is running out of energy. In fact, it's running out of usable energy. The total amount of energy in the universe is constant, but what's changing is the proportion between usable and unusable energy. All scientists know this, and they will tell you that that sun up there one day is going to burn out completely, and we're all going to go to heat death. There's only so many hydrogen atoms in that sun, and one day it's going to burn out. And you say, how does this show the universe had a beginning? Because if the universe is eternal, that sun would have burned out a long time ago. It only has a finite amount of hydrogen atoms in it. In fact, you can think of the universe as a kind of a dying flashlight. If we were to take a flashlight right here, right now, turn it on, and then come back tomorrow, what would be the strength of the beam coming out of the flashlight? Tomorrow. Be very weak, if not dead. Why? Because there's only a finite amount of energy in those batteries. Well, you can think of the universe as having batteries. If you turned on the universe an infinitely long time ago, would you have any juice in the batteries today? No, you would be out of energy today. But look, the lights are still on, so the universe must have had a beginning. The second law of thermodynamics is also the law of disorder. It says that nature tends to bring things toward disorder. The second law of thermodynamics is why we have to replace the carpet in here. Things wear down. why you have to put gas in your car, because you use up the energy. It's why when you get older, you get dresser disease. That's when your chest falls into your drawers. It's the second law of thermodynamics working on you there. Scientists have found no known exception to the second law of thermodynamics. We still have order now, so the universe must have had a beginning. If it was eternal, we'd be out of order right now.